Hey there. I am reviewing my trip that I recently took to Big Bend National Park in Texas. And I put together a few videos for you to hopefully enjoy. I traveled through New Mexico from Arizona to get down there to the Big Bend region. I spent a night near the White Sands National Monument and checked that area out. And then spent several days down in Big Bend and Terlingua before heading back through New Mexico and then home again. On the way home, I did stop in the Davis Mountains of Texas, spent a night there, and then made my way to the little town of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Yes, that's a real name. And stayed at Elephant Butte Lake for one night and then headed to Silver City, New Mexico. Checked out some Native American cliff dwellings there before heading home. So I've broken these episodes into 3 parts. One would be getting out there, spending some time in Big Bend, and then returning home. And I hope you enjoy it. This is the first of those episodes. So today I am on my way to Southwest Texas to Big Bend National Park. I won't be actually getting there today, but I'll be driving from my home to Las Cruces, New Mexico. I'm going to check that town out and maybe grab a bite and find a place to post up for this evening. I've got a couple of places marked on the map that I think should work out fine. And then tomorrow I'll head on down to Texas and stay at a little campground there. I'm starting to think that the universe is conspiring against this trip. I came down with a cold a few days ago. I think it's on its last leg, so I'm feeling a little bit better today, even though I might sound a little congested. I still am. And it's currently raining, light rain right now, and the forecast is for it to rain pretty much my whole drive and into this evening and tomorrow, at least in the morning. That's only supposed to be for the next day or so, so I think I'll be fine after that. Once again, the universe is conspiring against me. I didn't make it that much further and saw that they were doing some constructions on the highway that I did not know about, but it did add, probably 30-40 minutes to my trip. Fun fact, this detour took me past an area that was called Dripping Springs and kind of skirted along Dripping Springs Road for a while, which is exactly the name of the road, or trail, if you will, that I planned on primitive camping this evening in New Mexico, Dripping Springs. So perhaps the universe is guiding me in the right direction after all. Quick observation. When traveling through the San Carlos Indian Reservation, I would highly advise that one uses the restroom before entering the reservation. There are precious few opportunities to relieve one's bladder on this stretch of road. And as you can tell, I'm dancing around in my seat and pretty sure my back teeth are floating. I've got about 10 miles to go before I get to the next town here. So, wish me luck. Have you ever wanted something so bad and you just couldn't get it? You couldn't acquire it. And then eventually you get it. Feels so much better. That's what that bathroom break felt like. All right, fueled up, relieved, back on the road. I have made it to Las Cruces, New Mexico. A little later than anticipated. It's about 3:15. So I think I'm just going to go directly to find a camp spot and then get up tomorrow morning and make the rest of the trek to Texas. All right, found a spot. I can't remember the name of this road, but there's 5 or 6 people camped along here in little spots and fire rings. It's pretty cool, and got a nice view of the mountain range here. I'll hop out and show you. All right, I was gonna say let's get camp set up, but with the trailer, it's no problem at all. Just gonna hop in and go to bed here after a bit, but I'll hang out for a little while once I put my jacket on. So that drive today was really not that bad, despite the detour I had to take. And it pretty much rained all the way until just before I got here to Las Cruces. It's cooling off. It's probably getting the high 50s right now here. And again, I'm just gonna chill out. I might just read a book for a little bit. Used to do a lot of writing, sort of songwriting and journaling, and kind of fell out of it for a little while, just occasionally, but I want to get a little more regimented now, especially since I'm retired. They tell me that keeping some routines and things like that will give you motivation and purpose. So I'm going to keep those things on the front burner, and hopefully keep making more of these videos. I do enjoy it. I just need to get motivated to get in there and edit them, which I will do. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to be documenting this trip to Big Bend, taking you all along with me, and hopefully you enjoy it. It may not be the best weather. It's supposed to be kind of cool and cloudy, but that's okay. We'll find some fun things to do and do a bunch of hiking and exploring, so should be fun. Decided to hang out in the trailer just in time as it started raining. So I'm just hanging out in here, watching a little YouTube on the big screen. Maybe play a little cigar box guitar. But there's my data projector. How old am I? My projector. And I got a little poster board up there, just hanging off of a magnet. And it works just great. Got my sleeping clothes on, ready for bed. I was reading a little bit ago that the mountains that I am parked or camped just to the west of is part of the Oregon Desert National or Wilderness area, pardon me. And the reason that this part of it is called the Oregon Mountains is due to those needle kind of peaks there that are supposed to resemble like a pipe organ. Another thing of note is that I am camped also just about 40 minutes south of White Sands National Park or National Monument. I'm not sure which one it is. I went there a couple of years ago with my daughter on the way back from picking up this trailer that I had purchased from Cedar Ridge Campers in Kentucky. But for now, I'm calling it. It is all of 8:15. Wow. All right. Good night. Well, good morning. I woke up a little congested still, so I'm feeling still a little bit sick, but it's not bad. Not bad. I think I'm still on the road to recovery. Just got that morning thing going on. But I slept really well. It rained off and on throughout the night. I kind of woke up occasionally and heard it raining. But otherwise, a nice, peaceful night here. It's a chilly morning, probably 40 degrees. Still some clouds around, but the sun's about to peek over those mountain range to my east. And you can sort of see the sun hitting the mountains on the other side of Las Cruces over there. But yeah, let's get this day going. So I'm gonna try this. I've tried it once before. It's an Ethiopia coffee. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. But I got this at the Asian market in town, and they're pretty good. Little single serving, pour over style. And it's pretty cool. A little self-contained. And there you go. All right, about a 30-40 minute drive later, and I am in White Sands National Monument. I just passed the entry station, showed them my yearly pass, and I'm heading in now. I'm still on the asphalt here, but I've been here one other time, and I know that the road changes to where you're actually driving on the White Sands. So White Sands is actually the largest gypsum sand dune in the entire world. So the reason it's white is because it's gypsum, which is the same stuff they use in plaster and drywall material. But I visited the visitor center here. Visited the visitor center. You maybe see in the window here the White Sands I'm entering them now. It's very cool. This is a very cool place. Just amazing. I mean, check out the reflection in the water from the rain last night. How sweet is that? I mean, come on. Seriously, come on, let's climb this dune. If I don't fall on my face. So this is all gypsum that's been deposited here, apparently from the surrounding mountain ranges, that gets washed down through the rivers and the runoff from the mountains. Deposits in a couple of low-lying lakes here. Then through evaporation, the gypsum forms into very soft crystals, which is then blown from the winds, tumbled until it creates this really fine sand. And these dunes can move through wind, some of them 15 feet a year. Just remarkable. What a cool planet we live on. Another fun fact is that these dunes have only been around, they estimate, between 1,000 and 4,000 years, which in geological terms is a blink of an eye. Apparently it was during a period of extreme drought on the planet that caused a lot of this evaporation that caused all these crystals to be formed, and then the wind's blown to form these dunes in the low-lying areas. I don't know if you can make that out or not, but looks like a pretty good-sized bird. Now this is interesting. So that looks like it could be blood. There's more tracks from that large bird that you can see had some pretty good talons on it. But there's also these little marks here that could be something else. Maybe a lizard, but definitely this would appear to be blood of something, slightly coagulated. Circle of life going on out here in White Sands. You're either the hunter or the hunted. Yeah, you can rent sleds and I think kind of like snowboards to go sledding down these dunes. They rent them up at the visitor center near the entrance. I kind of want to do it, but I do need to get to Texas. Maybe next time. So the plants that survive on the perimeter of the dunes have had to adapt in order to keep surviving. And apparently the yucca plants will extend their leaves, fronds, and the tips of the plant. It'll extend through the sand and continue to grow and extend the stem from the root system through the increasing sand, but it can't survive when the sand dunes move on and begin to lower. The stalk or the stem is unable to support the weight of the top of the plant, and it will eventually tip over and die. It's pretty remarkable how you can just see how things will adapt to the environment over time, and only the strong survive. White Sands National Monument is also known as being a place that is just prime for studying adaptation and evolution. The animal life here, their skin has turned white, and obviously if you're a dark-skinned animal walking on the white sand, you're easy prey. So what has happened over time is that those animals that have lighter skin through some genetic mutations have blended in better with the environment. Thusly, they have not been eaten, whereas the darker-skinned animals, lizards and insects and you name it, have been eaten by predators, birds and things. And over time, that DNA of the lighter skin has become prevalent. So now you have lizards out here that are very white, almost blue. The related lizards just outside of the White Sands area have remained the darker skinned animals, reptiles I should say. Pretty amazing. I am on the road down to Terlingua, Texas. I left, turned south at a little town called Alpine, and honestly it just feels like I've been driving for another 8 hours on this stretch of road. Hasn't been more than an hour, but it feels like a long time. Just straight down this road, all the way to the Rio Grande. But another 40 minutes and I should be there. 30 to 40 minutes. All right, I made it to camp at the Roadrunner Adventures RV campground just outside of Big Bend National Park, which is back that way, I think. Maybe back that way. Not really sure yet, but got a beautiful sunset. How about that? And really kind of a nice spot. There's several people here, but nobody kind of where I'm at yet. Fire pits, picnic tables, water, even got electricity here. Not that I really need it, but it's nice to have just in case I don't get much sun. The solar won't charge up. But I'm here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. So I think I'm just gonna get unhitched, do a quick setup, and then get to fixing dinner. And I may turn in early. But man, look at that. Good to be here. Got the essentials set up for this evening, and I am going quick and easy with a backpacking meal. Thank you, McKenna. I will let you know how it is. So I'm eating this backpacking meal that I got for Christmas. It is a kimchi jjigae, which is a Korean dish. There's pork belly, kimchi, scallions, tofu in broth, gochujaro, and anchovies. And I'm telling you, it is delicious. There's big old chunks of pork belly. You can see that rehydrated perfectly. It's spicy and delicious. Join me next time as I spend a few days exploring Big Bend National Park and the surrounding areas. And hey, thanks for watching.